What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is David and I'm going to show you how to create a beautiful, personal, responsive About Me style website from step 1 to step done. An About Me website is fantastic if you're any type of professional and you have multiple projects you want to show off. Maybe you want to show off your YouTube videos or your photography, or maybe you want to build it into like an online resume, whatever. Now in this tutorial video, we're going to be using the Themify simple theme, which is a completely free theme from Themify that you can download right now. Now it does have a slight learning curve, and if you do download the theme, you're going to be like, what do I do? How does everything work? Don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you how it works to help you create a very beautiful, impressive looking, personal About Me style website. Now the resources and tools we're going to be using in this video are quite simple. We're going to be using Bluehost as our web host, Namecheap as our domain name register, then we're going to install WordPress and design our website. So if you're ready, let's begin. Alright, so before we get started, I just want to introduce to you what we're going to be doing with the site. So this is powered by Themify Simple, a completely free theme. I'm going to show you how to set up a hero image at the top, how to add a text overlay, how to change the color and the font size of this, how to edit and adjust the menu, how to add social media links, how to set up this nice looking welcome message, how to add in YouTube videos, as well as how to embed your own Instagram projects and then set up a nice looking fancy footer, and then how to, what should you add into the footer of the website itself. So anyways, let's get started. Welcome to Namecheap.com. So step 1 in creating a website is that you need a domain name. You have a lot of different options. You can get the domain name through the web host, and most web hosts like Bluehost will give you a free domain name for the first year, but guys, free is not free. It's free for the first year, but then you're going to be paying an inflated price. And personally, I use Namecheap and they have the lowest prices around. Right now you can get a domain name just for $8.88 a year. You can't register a domain name forever. You can only register it for a year at a time. So I like Namecheap because they have the best prices. Now to get started is very easy. Just come here to the search bar and type in whatever you want to register. So I'll type in my super amazing blog.com. Okay, let's go ahead and click on search. Now it'll come up whether or not you can register the domain name or not. If it's available, you can add it to your cart and purchase it. If it's not available, then you have to come up with something else. So you can just come up top here and just change it to something else. All right, anyways, let me go to add to cart. And there we go. So now we can click on checkout down here. Okay, and so this is it. So now you can change how long you want to register the domain name for. You can register for up to 10 years in advance. I definitely recommend like doing maybe 2 or 3 years, and then if your project sticks around, come back in and register for longer. You can also set up auto renew as well, so you don't have to like worry about your domain name expiring. You get WhoIsGuard for free, which is another thing that I love about Namecheap. What WhoIsGuard does is it keeps your contact information private, because part of ICANN registration rules is that your contact information must be public. And most other like web hosts and domain name registrars, they charge extra for this, but with Namecheap you get it for free. So anyways, just click on the big confirm order button. You'll have to create a Namecheap account and submit payment, and that is it. Now it's time to get a web hosting account, and for that I recommend getting a shared hosting account at Bluehost. Now Bluehost is a fantastic beginner web host. They're ideal for personal websites. They're ideal for people who want to build a professional blog, and they're ideal for people who are just getting started with WordPress, because they are the #1 recommended web host by WordPress, okay? And they just make creating a website very easy. They provide good hosting and good support. Okay, so anyways, to get started, very simple. You just click on this button that says Get Started. Okay, so this is their pricing plan. So they have Basic Plus, Choice Plus, and Pro. Now we're building a personal website. Now if you're building if you want to build like a professional blog, for example, I would definitely recommend starting with the Choice Plus plan. They got great introduction rates, and you can lock in a low price for 2 years, which is enough time to like grow your website to the point where it's making money. But if you're just starting a personal website, I definitely recommend just going with the Plus plan or even the Basic perhaps. But again, please note that the Basic is limited to having one website. And so that if that's a deal breaker, then just go with the Plus plan, because it's a great introduction rate and it renews at $11.99. Anyways, I'm just going to go with the Choice Plus. So let's go ahead and click on select. Okay, so now right here, you can have to enter in your domain name. So you can create a new domain name. And so this will register a domain name through Bluehost, which I do not recommend because Bluehost is a web host. They're not a domain name registrar, so they have to tack on a fee to any domain names to make it worth their while. Instead, we used Namecheap to register a domain name. So just go here and put in the domain name that you registered at Namecheap. So I'll do that right now, my super amazing blog, and click on next. All right, very simple. This is a form to fill out your payment information. So I'm not going to insult your intelligence. This is pretty self-explanatory. Just go through this and fill out your payment information as required. Right down here is where you can pay attention to the package information. So Choice Plus is $4.99 a month if you get the 36-month price point, 36 month in pay for 36 months in advance, or it's $6.95 for 24 months, etc. Personally, I recommend 24 or 36 months. Right down here, site lock, we can uncheck this. We don't need any of this. Then come down here, payment information. Click on that you have read and agreed to Bluehost policy, and then click on the green button that says submit, and then you are good to go. Let's set up name servers. So this is Bluehost's dashboard. And so once you submit payment, you're going to be presented with an onboarding process to set up your website. You can go ahead and skip all that because you have this tutorial video to follow along with. Now right here is where it should say what your website is, okay? And so for your account, it probably says something like temporary box, something weird. Totally normal. The reason is because you have to jump over to Namecheap and then update the name servers and have it point to your hosting account. Sounds complicated, but it's very, very simple. So this is going to be the primary domain name on your account. When you put in the domain name I already own, and so all you have to do is just navigate to Namecheap, okay? And then log into your Namecheap account. Then you want to find the domain name that you just registered, okay? And so I'm going to be using this domain name in this tutorial video. And then you want to navigate down here and you want to change name servers. So right now it should say something like Namecheap Basic DNS. You want to go ahead and click on Custom DNS, okay? And now you want to input the name servers. So the name servers for Bluehost are NS1 Bluehost and NS2 Bluehost, okay? And so where did I get these? Well, whenever you sign up to any web hosting account, whether it's Bluehost or any other web host, they all do the same thing where you get a welcome email. And in the welcome email, this is Bluehost's welcome email, is right down here is where they have their name servers and all this information that you kind of need to know, like your username, FTP password, all the technical stuff is right down here, okay? And so this is where you get your name servers from. All you have to do is copy and paste it in. And so let me just go ahead and do this. Okay, now once I copy and paste it in, make sure to click this little green check mark. I know it's very small, so you could easily skip it, but you have to click this to save it. Okay, so I'll go ahead and click save. Now it's going to pop up top here saying it could take 48 hours to take effect. I have literally never seen it take 40 hours. This should take 5 to 10 minutes. So I would just go ahead and like take a short little break. Then it will update as appropriate, and then it'll change from box to temporary box, whatever, and it'll say your domain name. And that's it. That's all you have to do in order to update name servers. Now it's time to install WordPress. So what's so cool about Bluehost is that once you set up your name servers, you actually already have WordPress installed. And this is why WordPress is one of the reasons why they're #1 recommended web host for WordPress, because they make it so easy. So all you have to do is navigate to My Sites, and then you can just click on this login button, and then it'll just launch WordPress. It'll install and launch WordPress on your domain name. Now, personally, I don't want to do that. I want to have a little bit more control, and I want to show you how it works. For example, like if you want to add a new site over here, you'll have to start in the manual way. So anyways, I'm actually just going to go here, and I'm going to click on Delete Site. And we're going to start from scratch, because I want to walk you through how it's done properly so you understand and have complete control over your hosting account. So we'll just go here and click on Add Site. Now right here we have two options. We have WordPress in the Bluehost Builder. So I'm going to be using WordPress. So just click on the Use WordPress button. Now right here you can put in your site name. Now your site name is the name of your website. You can change this later, so don't worry about it too much. So I'm using my name as the site name, and then tagline, we'll just say hello world. There we go. All right, now you want to make sure to click on this advanced tab. Now this is one thing that I don't like about the Bluehost auto installer, where they just do this all for you. Right here where it's important is because you can set up the email address that you want. If, like, for example, if you forget your password, what email does it get sent to? It will get sent to this email address. Then you can also change your WordPress admin username as well as your WordPress password, okay? And so that's why that's something that I really like. And so anyways, I'm just gonna put in my email. There we go. Okay, now let's put in a username. And we'll just put in a password. All right, so I put in a password that's not secure, so we'll just do that again. There we go. Okay, so now we're good to go. And the reason I like doing this is because now I know what my admin username is. It's something that I can remember. And I know what my admin password is. It's something I can remember instead of it being auto-generated. Go ahead and click on next. Okay, so now the domain name we're installing WordPress on is our primary domain name on this hosting account, so that's fine. Directory is optional. I would definitely don't recommend putting anything in a directory. If you do, like if you say, for example, I want to put it on blog. No. What's going to end up happening is WordPress is going to be installed on something called blog and not on the whole domain name. You want to install WordPress on the root domain name as it's called. So just leave it like this, leave it blank. All right, so now here we have helpful plugins. We don't need any of these. We can install plugins later. Click on next. And that is it. And so now it's going to start installing WordPress. Okay, congratulations. You've successfully installed WordPress. Now, right here is where you want to pay attention to. Okay, so you can log into WordPress by going to your domain name, /wp admin. So we can click right here just to log into WordPress quickly and easily. And so it's going to load our website now. Welcome to WordPress. So now you're logged into your website. And so let me just go ahead and actually go over here and I'm going to log out actually. So let me go ahead and click on log out. What I want to show you is like, this is the login screen where you can always access your website. And so the way Bluehost is set up is they kind of want you to log into Bluehost to get into your website, but you don't have to. You can just come here to WP-admin. And when you go into /WP-admin, you'll be presented with this form where you can just put in the username or email that you just created and the password that you just set to log in. So anyways, that's how you log into your WordPress website, yourdomainname.com/WP-admin. Permalinks and settings. So on the back end, there's a couple little things I want you to quickly do before we really get into the tutorial. Step one is to navigate to permalinks. So you define permalinks, you just go to settings and then go to permalinks. Right here, you have a bunch of different options. The best options are either post name or something called custom structure, and I'll show you the custom structure I like. But post name is great if you're gonna have like, say like 30, 40 blog posts and that's it. It's not gonna be a big thing you do. Post name is fine, but in general, I recommend people go with custom structure, then come over here, click / and then type in blog. And this gives a really nice site architecture to your website. This is personally what I use on websitecreatorpro.com. It just gives a nice site architecture and helps Google and other search engines kind of understand how your website is structured. But it's totally up to you. But I would recommend post name or blog / post name. Next, you want to navigate over to users. So users, then go to all users, and then you should be looking at a page like this. Now, right now you should have only one account and it should be your administrator account, but this is where you can come in and add like new writers to your site. For example, you can add new accounts, etc. Now, I know people ask like, how do you get this little image right there? Well, that's called Gravatar. So you can just sign up to Gravatar, create an account, and then with Gravatar, you can have it link an email to a picture. So whenever I use like this email right here, this picture comes up, if that makes any sense. So that's how you get the image. And it's really helpful because, when you have like a about me section at the bottom of a blog post, like David is a professional blogger, YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. And then there's a picture that's being powered by Gravatar. So that's how you do it. But anyways, what you want to come over here is you want to click on add a new user. Okay, and so now you can just create a new user account. You will need a different email for this account. Okay, you can't be using the same email, but then you want to just come down here and then you have a couple different options. We have contributor, author, editor, administrator. So administrator has full access to the website. I definitely recommend creating an editor or author account and then publishing content under that. So you're going to be blogging. I definitely recommend blogging as an author or editor on your account because it adds just a layer of security, just in case anyone was ever able you're just unbelievable, like someone was able to crack into your website. If they get access as an author or editor, they don't have full access like they would as an administrator. Totally optional, but this is what you do. And also helpful to know, just in case you ever start like a blog, for example, and you want to add writers, well, you can come in here and just come over here and add an author. And so the author can then publish their own content on your website, etc. So that's how you kind of manage it on the back end. But under the user account, let's just go back here. Let's click on this. And so under here is where you can change your username and password. So for example, nickname right here. So right now your name is going to be displayed as the like login information. So I would definitely recommend coming in here and changing it to something like more logical, like David. So if anyone reads like a blog post that's published by this account, it says by David, it doesn't say by the random username account that you just created. So come here and select that, and then email is required. And then you can write here the biographical information. Here is where you can write that typical bio, like David is a professional blogger and YouTuber who has lots of experience doing XYZ, blah blah blah, 1 2 3. That's where it goes right there. And again, I just showed you the profile picture is being powered by this over here called Gravatar, and that is basically it. And so you can create a new password, so a new WordPress login password. It can be done right here. We can generate a new password, etc. And that's it. And so that's all you need to do. Change your permalinks, and that's it for how to manage and create new users, etc. Now it's time to download and install the Simple theme, which is the theme that we're going to be using to design our website. WordPress themes are just software that sits on the front end of our website that allows you to quickly and easily design a website. Now, to get started with the Simple theme, you have to go to Google and just type in Simple theme Themify. Okay, so this is not a theme that's in the WordPress directory. It's a free theme from the team behind Themify. And I personally really like Themify themes. I actually use the Themify Ultra theme on websitecreativepro.com, but we're going to be using their Simple theme, which is completely free. Now, they don't provide any support, but this theme is constantly updated, etc. So just go to download and download the theme, no support. Okay, so now we just want to make sure that we drag and drop the theme folder as a zip file to our desktop or any place where you can know where it stays. There we go. Okay, so we got the Themify Simple theme zip folder right there. Leave it as is. Okay, so now let's navigate back to our dashboard. Let me X out of this. Okay, so now you want to go to Appearance, and then you want to go to Themes. Okay, so right now we have a bunch of standard WordPress themes installed, and we want to go to Upload. Okay, so now we want to click on Upload Theme, and we want to choose a file. So go ahead and choose the Themify Simple theme, and click on Install Now. Okay, so unpacking the package, installing the theme, and theme has been successfully installed. So let's go back and go to Themes. Okay, so now we have Themify Simple added, and let's go ahead and click on Activate. Okay, and that is it. So now you've just successfully installed the Themify Simple theme. Also, make sure you click No Thanks to installing demo content, because we're going to be designing the website from scratch. Now it's time to go ahead and delete some demo content that comes with our WordPress installation with Bluehost. So the first thing we want to do is we want to navigate over to Themes. So you want to go to Appearance and Themes. Now we have the Themify Simple theme activated, but we want to go ahead and delete all of these other themes for security purposes. You want to make your website as secure as possible. You just want one theme installed. You don't want multiple themes. So just click on the theme, and then over here, if it's a theme that's not the current active theme, you can just click on delete right down there. And all you need to do is just go through each one of these. So let me just do that. And one more. Okay, so now your theme page should look like this with one theme installed. Okay, now navigate over to plugins. So again, in the sidebar, go to plugins, install plugins. Okay, so let's come down here. With our installation, we have a bunch of different plugins that we don't need. So Akismet is an anti-spam plugin. So what that means is, like, if you're going to have like blog comments, then you want to go ahead and activate it. If you're not going to have blog comments, then you don't need this installed. So personally, I'm not going to be enabling comments on my blog, so we'll just go ahead and click on delete. Okay, so now we have a Bluehost plugin. We can go ahead and deactivate that. Okay, and let's go ahead and click on delete. And Creative Mail by Constant Contact, we can deactivate that. And we'll click on delete. And the last is Hello Dolly. We don't need that because this just leaves a bunch of quotes on our WordPress dashboard. Really not that useful. And just go ahead and click on delete. Okay, so there we go. So now we click on the dashboard. And you should be looking at the standard WordPress dashboard. Let me just X out of this. Okay, and welcome to what WordPress normally looks like without the Bluehost plugin. And so this is it. So this is your dashboard where it says welcome to WordPress. You have a bunch of different boxes over here that you can take care of to move, drag and drop information around as needed. And that's it. So just go ahead and delete a bunch of those themes and delete those plugins as needed. Okay, so a PHP update is required. So we just take a look right here. We have this big warning that WordPress has detected your site is running an insecure version of PHP. Not a big deal. So if you ever see any type of like random error like this, it's really not a big deal. What you need to do is just go over to Bluehost and contact support really quick and just tell them, hey, please update the PHP on my website, and they should take care of it within a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, everybody, so I just went to the chat function right up top there, existing customer, and I just sent them a quick message. It took about 5 minutes to take care of. Tech support, web issues, unsecured PHP, boom, copied and pasted the exact message WordPress has detected an issue with the PHP on the site, and that's it. And then they took care of it within a few minutes. Now, if you didn't have that issue, it just looks like this and everything's normal, then you're good to go. But if you did have that slight issue where it says like PHP needs to be updated, it's very, very simple. You just need to contact support and they'll take care of it immediately. And so they just quickly updated to the latest version, and that is it. Now it's time to create a homepage and a blog post page. So if we view our website, this is what it's going to look like. And what this is called is the blog roll. So the blog roll, whenever you're on like a blog and you see like blog post, that's actually called your blog roll. And now by default, WordPress sets your blog roll as the homepage with the sidebar and the blog post, etc. But we're building a personal about me website. We want something that's beautiful and impressive, conveys a message, shows off our projects, etc. So we want to set a dedicated page to become the homepage that we can quickly and easily design. Now to do that, it's very simple. So you want to go to settings and then you want to go to reading. Right here, you have two options, your latest post or a static page. And right here, we have homepage and post page. So we want to go and click on a static page, but the thing is we need to create a homepage and we need to create a page to be the post page. Now to do that is so simple. Just go here, dashboard, then you go to pages, boom, click on that. Now what you need to do is you just need to add 2 new pages. That's literally all you have to do. So we'll go, I'll just click on this, add new. All right, and so the page title for this is going to be home page, and that's it. Literally, that's it. And go ahead and click on publish, and this page will be the page I designed into the home page. We'll click on publish again. Okay, there we go. So now myname.com/homepage is good to go. So let's go ahead and click the W and navigate back. Okay, so now we have our homepage, and let's go ahead and click on add new. And we want to call this the blog page. Okay, and so make sure that the permalink structure over here is your domainname.com/blog. Now again, this depends on how you set up, but like sometimes people do funny things like blogs or whatever. It's called blog. It should be domainname.com/blog. Go ahead and click on publish again, and there you go. So now we have 2 pages. All right, so we'll click on the W, and now we want to navigate back over to where it's setting. So just let me go ahead and reload this page. There we go. I'll click on a static page. Now for homepage, boom, click on homepage. Then post page, go here, click on blog. There you go. And so blog pages show at most 10 posts. This is totally up to you. I tend to like to show 9 blog posts because I like to use like a 3x3 grid, if that makes any sense. And so let me just show you what I mean. I'll just open up my Website Create Pro website. And so for example, like the blog post page, we click here, this is the blog post page. So I like to show like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the sort of structure that I like to enable. And so that's why I'm going to keep it as 9 right there. And then all you have to do is click on save changes and you are good to go. Homepage design. So let's begin designing our homepage. So the first thing we have to do is a couple little things. Now you see this right here, this title where it says homepage. I want to remove this. I don't want this sitting at the top of every page like it says homepage. I want like my own like beautiful custom image in the background. I want like text over it, like a call to action. And then what's the deal with the sidebar? Why do we have this over? Now I want to get rid of all this stuff. And with the Themify simple theme, it's very, very easy. You just need to know how to do it. And so let me just quickly show you how. Okay, so the sidebar. Now, if we come in over to Themify, we go to Themify Simple, Themify Settings, Default Layouts. Right here are your default layouts for your posts and your pages. And so the default layout for the page right now is to have a sidebar on the right. So that means that all our pages on our website, our about page that we create, contact, the home page, everything's going to have a sidebar. And so that's up to you whether or not you want to have a sidebar. Now, I personally don't like having a sidebar. So I'm going to click on no sidebar and I'm going to click on save. Okay, so let's take a quick look at it again. And there we go. So now the sidebar is completely gone and now we have a nice clean template to design. Now we have this title. This is the name. This is the title of the page. So I remember in the beginning I called this the home page. So that's where it's getting this title from. Now what you need to do is go ahead and click on edit page right up top there. And then you'll be looking at the home page again like this. And so you want to scroll down and right here we have Themify custom panel. Now right here is really helpful with Themify where you have a lot of specific control over your page. So right here we have the sidebar option. So right now it's set to default. What that means is like anything you set here, this page is going to do the default. So you can override the settings. So like if you want to have a sidebar on the right or the left or whatever on the home page, for example, if you ever want to do that, you could just override everything with this. So I'm just going to leave it on default. Now we have hide page title. Absolutely, I want to hide the page title. We'll click on yes, and I'll click on save. All right, and so let's just reload this. All right. So now I clicked on save. So what that did is it saved the settings there, but now we have to update the page. Okay. So you can't just click save there and you have to click on update and now it should work. Let's reload it and voila. And so now it looks, it doesn't look good, but like, okay, it's a nice blank canvas for us to begin designing a beautiful, impressive looking homepage. So let's get to it. Let's begin designing our website. So the first thing we're going to be doing is adding in a call to action. So when people visit our website, they're bam, hinted with a clear call to action that explains where they are and what to do. And so if you don't know what I'm talking about, a call to action is like this right here. We have an H1 title tag that kind of explains the website, direct people to click a button or whatever it is you want to do. A nice beautiful image in the background, transparent header. How do you do that with the Themify simple theme? It's fairly easy, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Conceptually, the way this works is that you have to add an image to the background. Okay, and once the image is added to the background, then you add layers on top of it. If that makes sense, okay, so the text is on top of the image. The only reason I bring that up is because like sometimes people get confused where they'll be using like a Themify theme and they'll click on this, like turn on the builder. And then like what they'll do is they'll type in like image, right? And then like, oh, drag and drop an image into place. And like, no, you're just adding an image. What we need to do is add the image to the background. So how do you do that? Instead, we have to go to edit page. Once you're in edit page, we want to come down here and this is where we can begin designing these specific elements. Now, I get comments all the time, David, why do you use this? Why don't you use the visual front end builder? It's because this backend builder just has a lot more specific control and you're able to really customize your site a lot better, in my opinion. Anyways, to get started, we have a couple different things. We have a purple box and we have an orange box. And so like the whole purple box is like the whole top section, okay? Like the whole section up top there. The orange box is like the container for the elements within the other purple section, within the main section at the top. And so we want the image in the background. So to do that, we have to go to where the purple is, and then we click on this thing that says styling. Click it. Okay, you're going to be kind of overwhelmed with all these different options here. You don't have to worry about too much, but the thing I want you to click on is background. Now with the background, you can add in a video for a background, a slider, gradient, whatever it is you want. So I'm going to add in an image. And so we click the plus sign, and now here you just drag and drop in an image you want. So I've already gone ahead and added in a few images, but you know, just to add an image is very easy. Just find what the image you want to add, drag and drop. That's literally it. Now for the background image at the top of a website, I definitely recommend something that's like 1000 by 1000, 1500 by 1500, something like that. Not too big, not too small. Most of your traffic is going to be people on their phone, if that makes sense. So you don't need some gigantic image because nobody's going to be viewing your site on like a 4K monitor. It's like most people are going to be on their phone. So you just need an image that's fairly big, but not too big. So anyways, I'm going to use this one. Okay, so now to insert the image, we just go here to insert file URL. All right, and then we want to go, we're gonna leave this as repeat all, but we'll change this in just a bit because I want to show you what it looks like. Anyways, let's click on done, and let's click on save. All right, now we'll go to update. All right, so let's take a quick look at our website. And nothing. This is what it should look like. The reason is because the image has been added to the background, but there's no, the image has no dimension on the website, so there's nothing for it to show. So the next thing that we need to do is now we can add in our text over the image. And to do that is very easy. We come here, click on the plus sign, and then you want to type in fancy header. So fancy heading, boom, click the plus sign. All right, now you can add in a heading and a subheading. So I'm going to add in a heading, and I'm just going to say, hey, comma, hey, I'm David. All right, then we'll put in a subheading. I'll just say, find your edge, enjoy life. All right, so there we go. We'll click on done. We'll click on save, and we'll go ahead and click on update. All right, so let's take a quick look now. All right, so this is okay. So you notice a couple things where it's like, okay, well, the text is there, but there's no padding. There's no, like, how come the image is not full length? Like, how come the image is like repeating itself? Like, how come the text is black? I can't read it. Like, okay, it looks good, but it's a big mess. There's a couple different settings that we need to continue changing. All right, so first things first, we need to come over here to the purple again, click on your styling, go to row options. Now we want to have it be row width. We want it full width. Okay, so you click on full width, update it again. What that does is it forces the image to take up the full width of the entire section at the top. There we go. Now you'll notice, like, there's my head again, there's the image repeating there. Looks terrible. How do I make it stop doing that? Okay, that's easy. So you go again, styling, you go to row options, or styling, sorry, you go to background. Instead of repeat all, what you want is full cover. Okay, so full cover does literally what it says. It provides a full cover image, covers the entire area. So we'll click on update. All right, so we'll reload that, and okay, so that's looking better, but still, like, why is it so small? Why is it so small? The reason is because you have to add padding to this text. Like, what's padding? Padding just means, like, add space above and below the text. It's not hard. It's like super duper simple. You just need to know what you're doing. So that's why I created this tutorial video. So anyways, we're going to add a lot of padding to the top and the bottom to push and give space to this text right here. We're also going to change this text from being black to being white so it looks nice. And so let's just come up top there. All right, so I want to change the text. So when we scroll mouse over this, we have a couple different options. We can edit the text. Now this styling specifically affects the text, okay? But we want to change the entire box. We want padding for this specific element. So that's why we want to use the orange, okay? So we're going to use the styling to change the color of the text there, but the orange button over here changes this specific element. I hope that makes sense. I know it could be a little bit confusing, but anyways, we're going to add padding. So boom, we'll click on styling. Okay, so now you want to scroll down to where it says padding. All right, so now we have padding, pixels, what? Okay, you have to click this and have it show all. Now pay attention as you mouse over it. So what does that say? It says top. What does that say? Bottom. So what do you think that does? It adds padding to the top and the bottom. All right, so I recommend personally is doing 20 for the top and 15 for the bottom. All right, so now we can click on done, and we'll click on save. We'll click on update, and watch. So it just moves ever so slightly. So you're like, well, what? How do I fix that? Okay, so you have to pay attention to one other little thing, and you have to pay attention to what it says right here. See how it says PX? That means pixels. We don't want pixels. What we want is percentage. We want 20% there, and we want 15% there. We'll click on done. We'll click on save. We'll click on update. Okay, so now we'll navigate there. Okay, and that is looking much better. So that's actually like taking up the entire top section right there. I'm really liking the way that looks. Okay, so now we want to change a couple things. Like the text is a little bit small, right? So how do we make the text bigger? And how do we make it a different color instead of black? Because it kind of blends in too much. All right, so now we want to change the text, okay? So you have to mouse over the text and you want to go to styling, okay? And so now right here, you have a bunch of different options. So we want to go to heading, okay? And so now we're on heading. So what the heading is, this is your header, okay? This is the subheader, this is the header. So we're under heading, go to fonts. All right, so now we can change the font color right there. So I don't want it to be black, I want it to be white. There we go. I also want the font size to be bigger. And so I normally like to use EM for font size and do something like 1.5. So EM is like just a multiplier, like it makes it like 1.5 times bigger, if that makes any sense. So just leave it there, okay? So we'll click on done, click on save, click on update. All right, we'll reload. And then you'll notice that the text gets bigger and it looks much, much better. And so I really like the way that looks, and I just need to update this. So again, what we need to do, go to styling, and then you want to go to where it says subheading. Why subheading? Because this is the subheading. Then just change the color. Go to fonts. What do? You go to font color. Boom. Make it white. Boom. Done. Save. Update. There you go. Okay, so let's reload this again. All right, and so that's looking really nice. Now there's a couple things we could do. Is like we can have this have an overlay if we want. We can play around with colors to make it a little bit more colorful and stylish. It really just depends on like what image you personally chose. Like you see this image at websitecreatorpro.com. This is like a navy blue overlay that I added. So it really like pops and stands out, contrasts well with like red color, blue and red, so that sort of thing. So we can do that here too if you want. So, what I would recommend doing is, again, going over here. Okay, going up to the purple one, purple dot, and go to styling. And so what you want to find is something called overlay. That's called an overlay. It's like this blue color that's over this image is an overlay. It's like a color that's been overlaid on the image. And so there you go. So now you can kind of play around with it. So for example, I'll select gradient, for example. All right, so like what are different colors that I could pick? So it's like we can just try out different things. So maybe I want this to be, maybe I want this to be like a gray, and I want this to be maybe like a blue color. Okay, and so that's a really solid color. So you want to make sure it's like a little bit lighter. So do that lighter like that, and maybe make sure that's not so heavy as well. And we can have it something like that, and we can keep it linear, or we can have it be radial. Okay, so let me click on done. Let me click on save, update. All right, so let's see how that came out adding this overlay. See if it made any difference. Okay, so it's kind of added a shade of blue over it. So, you got to just jump in here and just kind of play around with the text as you want. So maybe I'll click on the dot right there, and I'll maybe make it like another blue color, something like that. All right, let me click on done, click on save, update. All right, let me reload this. All right, so there we go. So, you can just play around with the colors personally as you see fit. But, anyways, that's kind of like what I would recommend doing if you want to add an overlay. So you got to play around with different color combinations, etc. So let me just go in and let me just fix that up because I don't really want to have that overlay there. So we'll click overlay and I'll click on color and I'll just leave it like that. Boom, save, update. Okay, so let me just reload this. Okay, so now the image is back to normal. All right, so looking good. So that's really all you have to do. And so that is it. So that's how you add, fancy header. That's how you make the image or the text bigger. And that's how you overlay the text over on an image. And again, like you can keep going. So for example, like if you wanted to add in, say, a button, you can click plus, and then you can go here and click in button, and then you can add in a button right there. Okay, and it's that simple. So just make sure if you do add in a button, click center for alignment. Okay, and so click on save, update. We'll just reload this really quick. Okay, it's in there. Boom, a button's been added. So you can kind of play around with this option a little bit more if you want. I'm personally not going to add a button, but I know a lot of people, like you all, want to add a button to like direct people to a specific page or something like that. So anyways, let me click on save, update. Let's reload this. All right, so there we go. All right, so the next issue I know people are always asking about is like, what's up with this white area? I don't want all this, like, why is it so big? Well, to be honest with you, this is just kind of a quirk of the Themify simple theme. And to fix it is easy. You just have to click on Turn on Builder. All right, so once you have Turn on Builder, scroll up again, and all you have to do is click here and just minimize it, okay? Scroll back up like that. That's it. So all you have to do, click on Save, and click the X, okay? And so again, that's just a weird quirk. I don't know why the theme does that. Sometimes it does that where it just adds a lot of space right underneath there. Very, very easy to fix, not too complicated. You just got to turn on the builder and just do that. But anyways, that is how you set up the top section, okay? That's how you add an image. That's how you change the size of the image, add text, colors, overlays, etc. All the little details that you need to know. Now let's adjust our menu bar at the top. So what I want to do is I want to kind of make this transparent, sort of like I've done on websitecreatorpro.com. Side note, I did add an overlay right here, so I have this little blue section right there. I just want to show you really quick what I did. So overlay right there, so I have a bunch of different colors, blue on the left, radial, etc., to kind of make it a little bit more stylish. And the blue really, I think the blue really pops right in the middle. But anyways, the menu bar at the top. So to make this transparent is very, very easy. So all we do is come back here, and what you need to do is scroll down. Okay, so like I'm editing the home page, scroll down here. What you want to do is you want to find the tab where it says page appearance and then the header background. The header background, you can have either a solid background, transparent background, or if you want to have like some type of image as the background, you can go ahead and upload it here. Personally, I recommend keeping it as a solid background or transparent. So I'm going to click on transparent. Okay. Now we click on save. And let's go ahead and click on update. All right. So now let's reload the website. All right. So again, now it's transparent, but again, the quirk, the Themify simple quirk is back. So how do we fix that? Okay, we gotta go to Themify Builder. And so from the visual front end, we come here. All right, so now you wanna just click here. You wanna minimize this section. You don't wanna bring it up too high, okay? But you wanna bring it like about up to there, okay? You can keep going with this and bring it up higher if you want, but I would leave it right there. Okay, let's go ahead and click on save. And we'll click on the X. All right, so there we go. So, you know, whenever you see that, that's all you have to do. Just jump into Themify Builder. Okay, so now that's looking really good. So now we have our logo there. We have our search box over there. We have an RSS link. We can add social media links over there, which I'll show you in just a bit. But I want to edit this area over here. So we have a bunch of links. And so any page that you just happen to add to your site is going to be automatically added to the menu over here. But like, let's change it, okay? Like, let's actually make a menu so we can self-select what pages we want. And so to do that, we have to navigate back to the WordPress dashboard. So we'll just click on the big W, and there we go. Okay, so first things first, we have to go to appearance, and what you want to do is you want to find where it says menus, okay? And so appearance and go to menus. Now menus controls what items are up top right here. Okay, and so with the Themify Simple, you have the main navigation and the footer navigation. So the main navigation is this. Your footer navigation is down there. We don't have anything in the footer navigation, which is why you're not seeing anything. All right, so for the main navigation, what I want to do is I want to create a new menu. Okay, and so let's go ahead and create a new menu. So I'll call this like main menu. Call it whatever you want. I'm going to call mine main menu. All right, let's go ahead and click on create menu. Okay, great. And so this is everything I add here is going to be added to the main navigation. All right, so now here you have the most recent pages that were created. You can view all, and you can search for a specific page. Obviously, this is you want to search when you have a website that's much larger and you have lots of pages, but we have something very simple. So I'm going to have the blog. Okay, so I want to add this. Okay, and we'll click on Save Menu. Okay, and so let's reload it and see how it looks. All right, so now we only have one menu item. So what I personally want to do is maybe I want to have like blog, maybe about, and then like resources. And so you have to actually go ahead and create those specific pages. So again, like before with creating a blog page and a home page, you got to add these pages in. So again, I would just go ahead and go add new and just go to about. and make sure the URL structure is /about, and I'll just go ahead and click publish. Okay, and so now I want to go and do that one more time. So we'll go back here, and let's go again and click on add new, and we'll go in and add a page called like resources. There we go. So resources, you know, it's for example, like if you're making a personal site and you want to link out to your favorite books, or whatever it is you want to link out to, that's the kind of page we can create like this. Okay, so let me go ahead and back out of this. All right, so I'll just go ahead and reload this page. All right, so now we have about and resources. So I'll click on add to menu. All right, so we'll click on save, and there we go. Okay, and so now they've been effectively added to our website. So if we want to change the order, we can just drag and drop things into place. I personally would lead off with like blog, resources, about. It's up to you how it's your website. However you want to structure it is fine. One note with the Themify simple theme, I definitely would keep your menu simple. Okay, in general, the way I design all of my websites, my niche websites, etc., I keep the menu bar as simple as possible. Like I have max 5 links in the menu, max. So I suggest doing the same. So, don't fill it up with like 12 links, okay? Fill it up with like, 4 or 5, and that's it. And to create a dropdown is easy too. So for example, like I can take this and we can make it a sub item. So we go ahead and click on save and reload that. And so now we have a link underneath. So now it's a dropdown. I personally don't like the way it looks with the Themify simple theme, so I'm just going to leave it like this. I'll just leave resources right there, click on save. All right. Okay, so there we go. So now we have blog, resources, about, etc. So now if you're like, well, how do I make this smaller if I wanted to? That's easy too. So what you have to do is you have to go to actually customize, okay? Click on the customize link. And once you're in customize, you're going to be presented with basic and advanced. You can just stay on the basic tab. And so what you need to do is you need to find the main navigation, okay? And so go to menu link, and now here you can change the size. And so we can take it M, and for M we can make it like 0.9, for example, and that makes it a little bit smaller. So like 1 is standard, anything above 1 is a multiplier, anything less than 1 shrinks it. So we can do like 0.8, okay, if you want to have it smaller and sleek looking. Okay, so I'll keep it at 0.8 actually. I think that looks nice. So I'll click on publish. Okay, let me click the X. And there you go. Okay, so now we've successfully added items to our menu. We've shrunk the text to make it a little bit more stylish and looking. And so we're good to go. Now it's time to upload a logo to our website. So personally, I really like the way the logo looks natively with the Themify simple theme, but you can upload your own logo. Personally, I definitely recommend sticking to text, okay? The Themify simple theme looks best with like a nice simple text logo. So to upload your own logo, all you have to do is go to customize. Okay, so once you're in customize, under the basic tab, just go to site logo and tagline, and then we go to site logo. All right, so now you have 3 options where you can completely remove the logo. If you don't want a logo at all and you just want it to be plain like this, no problem. You can just have it like that, that's fine. Or you can add in a logo image, and so I can click on the plus sign, and then again, same as before, all you do is drag and drop into place, okay? And so let me just go ahead and drag and drop that image right there. All right, then we'll go insert image, and then our logo is added, okay? It's really that simple, so it's totally up to you. Now you're like, David, how do I create a logo like that? How do I create a text logo? I recommend using Canva, to be honest with you. It's very simple. And so we can just come in here, I'll type in YouTube, and I'll go to YouTube thumbnail. All right, so now under YouTube thumbnail, click on create blank thumbnail. Okay, so right here, we're gonna be adding in text. Super duper simple. So click on text, click on add heading, and then type in the name of your website, okay? And so I'll just type in David and my last name, there we go. All right, so let me just make this big. There we go. All right, so now let me just go ahead and highlight this text. So we can go ahead and click on effects. We can add it, have a drop shadow. All right, and so maybe I wanna change this to a different font instead of Open Sans. Maybe I want to make it like League Spartan, or Poppins Bold, or Anton, or whatever. You can just play around with the font that you like the most, that you think looks the best. And so let me just go to League Spartan. Okay, so I think I like that. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and invert these colors personally. So I'm gonna make this black text. I'm gonna make it white because I want white text on my site, and then I'm gonna make the black, or the white, black. There we go. All right, and so now all you have to do is download, and download as a PNG. Boom, click on download. Okay, so now our PNG has been downloaded. Now what you want to go do is navigate to a website called removebg/upload, and just go ahead and upload that image. All right, so I'm going to click on that. And now what this website does is it automatically removes the background. All right, so there we go. It's successfully removed the background. Click on download, and that is it. All right, so we'll drag and drop it there. All right, so good. So now I got the logo, transparent background, good to go. How easy was that? Now there's a couple little things you need to do. You do need to crop in a little bit. So let me just go ahead and let me right click and open with, where is it? Open with, there we go. Open with Microsoft Office. There we go. Let me go ahead and edit pictures. I'm gonna crop and use whatever picture editor that you want that allows you to crop images, and just crop this in a little bit so it doesn't take up so much space. All right, click on OK, and I'll click on save. All right, there we go, looking good. Okay, so now I can go here and I can click on plus sign and then drag and drop the logo I just made. And we go insert image, and there you go. Okay, so now you can play around with the image size as you want. So for example, like this image is too big. Okay, so how do you fix that? Well, you have a couple different options too. So personally, what I would do is just go back to the image, open, go open with, then open with your editor, and just go here and go resize the image. Okay, and so resize the image down and just play around with it until you find like an image size that works well for the site. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it like right there, maybe a little bit less, and there we go. Okay, so click on that, click on save, and okay, so we'll do that one more time. Plus sign, drag and drop it in again, and there we go. And we'll go insert image, and that's looking better. So with your site, you can just play around with that as you see fit to get the right size. Personally, I kind of like the way it looks without having any type of logo personally, so I'm going to leave mine with no logo. But if that's how you want to add a logo, that's what you can do. Very easy, just add text here. You're going to have to make it a small logo once you're done with everything, like 200 by 200, something small like that. And that's pretty much it in terms of like how you add in a logo. Let's go ahead and add a favicon to our website. So you're like, a favicon? What is that? Like, a favicon is the little icon that goes along with your website. And so that's really important to brand it, because like when people visit your website, say on their phone, it says like most recently visited. You want something that just brands the site. And also it's like this is my website. I don't want the WordPress logo. So, I would just go ahead and create some type of image to upload. Anyways, the image that I'm personally going to be using is this image I have of my head. So it just made like a little circle image of my of a portrait that I was in. And so anyways, I'm just going to upload that. So the upload is very simple. You go to customize, and once customize loads, we have to navigate again, click the back arrow. Okay, so it's not over here. You're not going to find the option over here. We need to click the arrow over here. Now we need to navigate to site identity. Okay, now we can select a icon. Okay, so select the site icon. Whatever icon you decide to make, just drag and drop it in, and that's it. And so then we go ahead and click on select. All right, we can crop it if we want, but I'm not going to crop it. I like the way it looks. Click on cropping, and go ahead and click on publish. All right, so let's click the X. All right, so there we go. So now I've successfully updated the favicon to be an icon of my head. So you can create whatever image you want to add as the icon. It's not a big deal, but just add something just to replace the default like WordPress favicon at the top. Not too complicated. Just take time, create some 500 by 500 little image of whatever it is you want. But anyways, that's how you update the favicon. Let's add some social media links to our menu bar. So one thing I really like about this free theme, the simple theme from Themify, is that you can just add social media links right up top there natively with the theme. It's very easy, but it is a little tricky. I'm going to walk you through and show you how it's done. It's not too complicated, but there are a few steps. I also want to remove this. This is an RSS feed icon. Nobody uses RSS anymore. This is something from like 2007. So we really don't need it. This is the search box. That's actually pretty helpful if you're going to be blogging. If you're not going to be blogging, then you don't need this. Anyways, to toggle these two items, very simple. So we want to come back to our WordPress dashboard. We want to click on Themify Simple. All right, so now we want to navigate to where it says Default Layouts. Once you click on Themify Settings, there we go. Okay, so we can exclude the RSS link and we can exclude the search form. So I'm going to click the exclude RSS link, click that, click on save, and we'll reload the page, and it's gone. So again, I'm going to keep the search box. I will show you just quickly how to set up the blog, etc. But it's totally up to you whether or not you want to keep that or toggle that on or off. But to do that, it's just right here. Same thing, exclude the search form if you want. Totally up to you, but I'm going to keep it. All right, so now for social media links. All right, so we have to come down here to where it says social links. All right, and so these are our social links. So you can have either an icon font or an image. I would leave it as is, okay? So the icon font, now you have to put in your link to Twitter. So I'm just gonna type in twitter.com, but you type in your own specific link. All right, and I'm gonna type in, let's say facebook.com, and we'll say youtube.com. Now obviously you want to put in your specific link to each of these platforms, but I'll just put that in. Let me click save, and there we go. So now if we reload, and you're gonna be like, David, like we just added it, how come it's not here? Like what's going on? Like, all right, there's one other little step. So now we have to go to appearance and we have to go to widgets. Now, widgets, what is that? Widgets are just like little sub programs that work on WordPress where you can add in like little extensions, etc. So now we want to navigate to where it says social widget, click that down, and you're going to see that there's nothing in here. Well, that's because we have to add it in. So we want to come down here and we want to find where it says Themify social links, okay? So find Themify social links. Now click it, hold it, and then just drag it up. And just keep going up and then drag it into place, okay? And there you go. And so we have icon size, medium. We can say show link name, open a new window, whatever. So I recommend any links off your website should open in a new window. So we'll just click that. We'll click on save, and we'll go ahead and reload the page. And there we go. So now we've quickly and easily added in social media links alongside the search bar. And that's really how it's done. So I think this is looking quite nice, where we have our little menu bar over there and our social media links over there. And now we're good to go. So now we can continue editing the homepage. Okay, so now I want to add in a little bio section right underneath the hero image. So what I'm talking about is I want to add in something like this, what I've done with Website Creator Pro, where I have this nice image here, you got text over there, it looks really stylish. How do you set that up? It's not too difficult. So anyways, let's get to it. So the first thing we need to do is go to edit page. And so once the edit page opens up again, we can just navigate right here. And what you want to do is click on the plus sign. All right, so what we want to do is we want to add in a 2-column design right here. And we want to move this one over a little bit and have this one over here. So now we have our two sections for our image and text. Now what we need to do is we need to add in an image as the background for this item right here, okay? So this is this is not an image that I just added in. This is an image in the background, sort of like the way that this section up top there has an image in the background. It's the same type of deal. And the reason is because then it becomes nice and responsive. So for example, if you go to inspect, the way that this is laid out, where we have the image up top there and then the text right there, that's why you want to do it this way, so everything kind of moves into place no matter what device people are on when they visit your website. Anyways, here we go. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we have to click on styling, okay? And now we want to go into background, image, and then add in an image that you want. So I definitely suggest picking an image that's kind of more square in shape. And so again, just drag and drop like always, but I already uploaded the image I want to use, which is right here. And so this image is like 960 by 771. It's fairly square. That's, you know, you don't want something that's too oddly shaped. You want something that's fairly square, maybe rectangular a little bit. And so let's just go ahead and insert that into the URL. All right, and so now we want repeat all. No, what do we want? We want full cover. Okay, we want this to take up the entire space. All right, so now we can click on done, and there we go. Now over here, I want to add in some text. And so we can just add in text. So type in text, and I don't want plain text, but I do want text. All right, and so here we go. So we can have the title right there and then the text content. So I already went ahead and wrote like a little bio that I want to add in. All right, so we'll take this right here, copy and paste this in. Let me copy and paste this text in right there. All right, and then I'll take this and I'll make this my module title. There we go. Okay, so I'll click on done. We'll click on save. Okay, so let's take a quick look to see how that's looking. Okay, so that's looking good. So there's a couple things that we need to do. You're like, whoa, why is there white space? How do I move it over? What? Okay, again. Okay, so remember, we have to go to the purple. You have to click on styling, row options, and then you have to go row width. We want full width. There we go. That's it. Okay, so now click update, and that image should move over as appropriate. Okay, so now it's taking up the entire space right there. And I think that looks really nice. Now, this text right here, yeah, this is like, why is it all the way off to the right? Doesn't look that nice. I'm not really crazy about that. What I would prefer is to add just a little bit of padding. Okay, so that's what you need to do. You need to add a little bit of padding, kind of push this text over so it's not super wide and weird looking. And so to do that, it's easy. You come to text, then you go to styling, then we want to come to padding. Okay. And we want to find where it says right. Okay, so that says top, bottom, right. All right, so we don't want pixels, we want percentage, and we just want a little bit, like maybe 4%. You know, we gotta, again, you gotta play around with things like that. And we'll click on save and update. Okay, so let me go ahead and reload that. Okay, so that's looking a lot better. So maybe I could add in just a little bit more. So let me go here to styling and go to padding, and maybe on the, let's say like the left is 4. We'll say we'll do 5 and we'll do 5. We'll see how that comes out, and make sure to change it to percentage. Okay, click on done, save, update. All right, let's reload this. All right, so that's looking much better. So I really like that the text is kind of even with the image at the bottom right there, looking good. Now, I know a lot of people aren't going to be crazy about like the image touching. I kind of like the way that looks, but if you really want to have to separate that, you can do that. So again, you have to come up top here and go to the purple and click the styling. And then you want to just, again, padding, okay? So you want to go to padding, you want to find where it says top, click on percentage, and you could add in something like, 3%, okay? So click on 2, save, update. Again, like always, and then that should add in a little bit of space between these two different sections. So it's totally up to you how you want to design that. But anyways, I'm kind of liking the way that's looking. So, okay, so that's how you kind of add in a quick little welcome message. And so right here, I have like learn more about me. So for me, I'm going to make that a link to the about page. So I'll take on this link right there. And let me just jump back in here. I'll click on styling, text, and so if you want to add in a link, you can just do that quickly and easily. Just highlight the text, say like bold, and then hyperlink, copy and paste in, click apply, and click done, save, update, and then let's reload that. And there we go. So now we have a nice little introduction paragraph and a link to the about page where you can get into like more specific detail about you. But that is it. So let's continue. Let's add in some YouTube videos. So I want to add in kind of like a visual menu, kind of like my own little portfolio of YouTube videos. So if you're like a creative person and you have specific projects you want to show off and they're on YouTube, I'm going to show you how to embed it on your website to make it look fantastic. Now, the first thing that we need to do is we need to give a site section title. Okay, so every section, as you notice, the way I personally design is like I like to give it a little title so people kind of can understand what it's going on. So, for example, like latest tutorials, advice, and guides, like this means like the latest blog post, and this is like starter guides. You know, it's really helpful because it just, one, it makes the website a little bit more scannable, and two, people can conceptually understand like what's following up after that title. So, anyways, add in a title is very easy. So we just click on the plus sign. We want to add in a single block, click the plus again, and then we want to back out of this and we want to go into fancy heading. So click on fancy heading. All right, so let's add in our heading. Okay, so I'll say like travel vlogs, and then a subheading could be something like I love to travel as a hobby. We'll just say something like that. Now, very important right here, the HTML tag. H1, no. We want that to be H2. Now, why? Because for H1, this is the H1 title tag. Okay, that means the title of the page. Now, H2 should be subheadings, okay? And so our design already has an H1 tag, which is this right here, okay? So if you want to have like a keyword-rich title, you know, don't have it say like, hey, my name is John. Like, give it a keyword title then if that's important. But in general, good design shouldn't have two like H1 tags. You just want one. So anyway, just leave it at as H2 right there. Click on center, and that's it. So go ahead and click done, click save, and go ahead and click on update, and we'll just reload the page. And there we go. So now we have our own title right there. I can already tell that there's not a lot of space there, so we're gonna have to add in some padding just to give it a little bit of breathing room so it's not on top of each other. So click on padding again, okay, and then navigate down here, click on all, and we wanna find where it says top, click on 3, change it to percentage, click on done, click on save. Okay, and we'll click on update, and that should give this section just a little bit of breathing room. There we go, that looks nice. Now it's time to add in our videos underneath. Okay, so to do that is easy. So again, we highlight this, we click on this green plus sign. Now we have to remove the text. Now once this is blank, now you can select a row. And I'm gonna do by like a 3 grid of videos. I think that looks really nice. So I'm going to do plus sign. There we go. So now we have a space, space, and space. And I want to add in videos. And it's very, very easy. So all you have to do is click on plus and type in video. And something will pop up, will be the video. Click on plus. All you have to do is copy and paste in your URL for your specific video. That's it. And so I'll come over here. And okay, so I'll take this, the Mekong Delta. Let's go copy link address, navigate here. And we'll copy and paste this in, click on done. All right, so do the same thing there. So video, okay. X out of this, let me add in my own video. I'll take this one with me with the hamburger. Okay, copy link address. Go ahead, paste it in, done. And one more time, plus sign, video. All right, X out of this. And then let's go add in one more video. So I'll do this Fuquoc one where we copy the link address and then come over here. Copy and paste this in. There we go. So click on done, click on save, click on update. Okay, so let's reload the page and see how this looks. And there we go. So that looks fantastic. So we have a welcome message section, and now you can add in a portfolio of videos. So if you want to add in more videos, you can totally do that. So again, just follow the process again where you would click on like go here and click on the plus sign, add in a grid of 3 by 3. To add in 3 more videos underneath if you want. But for me personally, I think 3 videos right here is sufficient. But anyways, if you have a portfolio of like content you want to show off quickly and easily, that's how it's done with Themify Simple. Let's add in Instagram right underneath our YouTube videos. So I'm going to follow the same process and give the Instagram section its own title. So let's get that started. So again, go back into the homepage where we're editing. Now click under the plus sign to add in a new section, and then click on plus sign again. And we want to add in fancy heading. So again, just type in fancy, and there we go. It should pop up. Click the plus sign. All right, so the heading should be like something like, you know, photos or Instagram, whatever you want to put it up. So I'll put in Instagram. There we go. Okay, so follow for pictures, follow for travel pics, and stories. There we go. So again, make it H2, censor the text, click on done, save, update. All right, so again, now this is going to need a little bit more space. So if we just take a quick look, let's reload it really quick. Now the text should appear like right underneath the video. So it's a little tight. Let's give this a little bit more breathing room. So let's go here, click on styling. I'll click on padding. And again, let's open up, and then top, let's just say like 2, just a little bit of space. Click on done, save, update. All right, so now we have successfully added another section right here. So now we have a title, and now let's add in Instagram. Now to do this, we're actually going to need a plugin for WordPress. And so let's get to it. So right here, navigate back to your dashboard, and then you want to go to appearance, and then you want to find where it says plugins, okay? And so let's go to add new. All right, so now you want to type in Instagram, okay? Just type in Instagram, and that's it. Okay, so now the plugin that we want to add in is called Smash Balloon Social Photo Feed, and so that's clunky. But anyways, let's add this. So go ahead and click on install now. And then click activate. All right, so right now we have to navigate back to Instagram feed. So off in your menu at the very bottom, there should be a link that says Instagram feed. So let's go ahead and click it. Okay, so now you have to connect your Instagram account. So it's not complicated. So all you have to do is click on connect an Instagram account, personal or business. I have a personal account, so let me go ahead and click on connect. And then let's click on continue. Okay, and then we'll just say connect this account. And there we go. So that's step 1. So now navigate over to step 2 to customize the look and layout of your Instagram feed. Now the thing you want to pay attention to right here is the number of photos. So by default it has 20. That is a lot of pictures to be showing. Like we don't need to be showing 20. Like 8 is okay. Like we don't need 20. Like no, people aren't that interested. Just introduce that, hey, I have an Instagram. So we'll go ahead and click on save changes. All right, now let's go ahead and display your feed. And now we have an Instagram feed right here. And so we take this, right click, copy. Okay, so it says copy and paste the following shortcode directly into the page. All right, so what do I want to do? I want to copy and paste the shortcode right under here. So again, navigate back to, again, the homepage that we're editing. And then fancy heading, click on the plus sign. And then we want to back out of the text and we want to add in another row. Now there we go. Now click on plus. And we just want to add in plain text, okay? This is where we want to use plain text. And then click this and paste in Instagram feed. Again, I got that from display your feed. Put it in right there. Click on done, save. Click on update. Okay, so now let's reload this. All right, and so now now we have Instagram successfully added. Okay, so we have YouTube videos and we have our Instagram, and that's it. And so people can click on load more to view more pictures, or they can follow you on Instagram. I definitely would recommend creating some type of like call to action to get people to subscribe, like follow for travel pics and stories, like especially if people aren't familiar with you. If you don't have like a strong, big personal brand, you're just some random person, at least give people some indication of like what you're doing on Instagram and like why they should follow you, etc. But anyways, that's how you add Instagram to your website. Now let's add one last section to the homepage. So underneath the Instagram, I think it's a good spot to add in either like testimonials or projects you're working on or something along the lines of that. Kind of break it up because we have images for videos, images for Instagram. It'd be really nice to just kind of break everything up and add in something new right here. All right, so what I recommend doing is, again, go back to the homepage that you're editing, click on plus, and now you want to click on another row, click on plus again, and you want to go to blocks. And now under blocks right here is where you can kind of self-select any of these default templates to be automatically uploaded to your website. And they all look really nice, and you can edit each one as you see fit. And so for example, let me just come down here. Let me just find one that I like. All right, there we go, testimonials. I'll click that. All right, so let me just X this one out. There we go. All right, so let me go ahead and click on save, click on update, and let me reload this again. Okay, so now these were added automatically. Look how quickly and easily that was. And this looks fantastic because it breaks it up and adds in some text. Now you're free to change this to whatever you want. You don't have to keep it as testimonials. So if I come over here and I come to text, change text, and instead of being testimonials, I want it to be like projects. Okay, I can change it to that. And then I can just say project current projects I'm working on. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we'll click on done, click on save, update, and let's just take a quick look, see how that looks. And I think that looks really nice. So current projects I'm working on. There we go. And so now the only thing that you would have to do is kind of just edit this to make it match. So if you have it says projects, it doesn't make any sense that be showing people's faces there. So anyways, you can just come down here to each one of these images, click on image, and then just change it, okay? So for example, if I was like, for example, if I want to change this, very impressed with this product, I could just say like, all right, I'll change this to Fiverr, okay? Fiverr, okay, there we go. So Fiverr. Fiverr UX reviews. Okay, and then I can create a nice little description about Fiverr UX reviews right there. We'll click on done, save, update. All right, so let me reload this. Okay, so I would go through each one of these and kind of update it to be relevant to like what you're doing online. So like Fiverr UX reviews, YouTube, my courses, whatever it is you want to like emphasize. That's kind of like what I would do there. But just make sure to change the image, obviously, as appropriate. So we take a look at the image. It's just a default, Themify image right here. And the width is 100 by 100, and it's circled. And so you can change it. You can make it like rounded, drop shadow, border. You can make the width bigger if you want. And so, for example, I would go like Fiverr. Okay, Fiverr favicon. We'll just find this, and then we click on images. We'll just see what Fiverr comes up. Okay, so I like this. All right, so we'll say Fiverr logo. We'll just do something like that. Fiverr logo. Okay, there we go. Fiverr FI. Okay, that looks great. Let me go ahead and click on save image as, and we'll go to desktop. Boom, save it right there. Jump back in here, X this out, click plus. Okay, so drag and drop it in, and then insert into URL, done, save, update. Okay, let's reload it. And there you go. Okay, so you can go through this process and like update these images as needed to better reflect whatever project you're working on. So, it really just depends on you, but that's kind of like how you can kind of be a little bit flexible and creative with each of these sections that you can add. But overall, I think that looks really nice. We have a nice little project section underneath this. And so now we only have one more section to add, which is the contact section. So one last section I want to finish off with is like some type of call to action at the bottom. So either I recommend having your email opt-in form at the bottom there, or maybe having a contact form, as this is a personal website. So anyways, I'm going to add in a contact form, and I'm going to show you how it's done quick and easy using the simple theme and the Themify builder. So again, let's go back into our homepage and let's click on the plus. Let's click on a new row, add in something. All right, so now we have blocks, and so the block that I want some type of like contact block. So let's just navigate to contact and see what comes up. Okay, so we have three options. I really like this contact with a background. We'll click on plus. Okay, there we go. And so let's click on save, update, and let's just take a quick look to see how that looks. See if we like it. All right, so that does look good. So again, white space, you know what to do, you know the drill. So again, go to the purple, styling, row options, make sure it is full width. Click on done, save, update. All right, so let's just reload the page one more time. Okay, so now it's full width, and that looks fantastic. Like, that looks great. So nice structure to the site. Get to the bottom, boom, we got the contact form. Now right over here, you're like, well, in the block it showed a contact form. Where's the contact form? Well, we got to add it in ourselves, and it's not too complicated. Also, I want to change this where it's like this is all the way on the edge. That looks weird. Like, don't do that. Add in some padding. on the left hand side of this field. So anyways, let's go right here to the orange, okay? And let's click on styling. Now, the reason why we're clicking on the orange is because I want to add padding to this whole thing, okay? Not the section, which would be the purple, just this section right here. So we'll click on styling, go to padding. All right, let's expand it all, and now find where it says the left, top, bottom, left. There we go. So we'll just type in 3, and I'll make it percentage. Click on done. Okay, so let's click on save and see how that looks. It should just move it over just a little bit. Yeah, that looks much better. Just subtle, okay? Just a very subtle change. Now let's add a form over here. Well, we're going to have to add in a new plugin in order to add in a contact form over here. So let's go ahead and do that. So navigate back to your dashboard and go to plugins. All right, so now we want to add new plugins. Okay, so we want something that says, we just want to type in actually contact. Just type in contact and it'll give you the top rated contact plugins. Now the one that I really like the most right now is WP Forms. So let's go ahead and click on install. And click activate. Okay, so WP Forms has been activated. Now go down here and click on where it says create your first form. Okay, so now we can select the template. We want just a simple contact form because that's what we're doing, okay? So click on create a simple form. Okay, so now we're editing our form. So we have our name, email, comment, or message. So I don't like that it says name, first name, and last name. Like that's asking for a bit much. So we can just click on the field that you want to edit, okay? And then navigate where it says format, get rid of first name, and just go to simple. Now this looks much better. Just name, email, comment, or message. Now let's click on settings. Now the form name is right here. And now if you want to come over to confirmations, so here you can customize the confirmation message. So when someone sends you a message, you can make it something a little bit more personal instead of like generic like this. Hey man, it's like, hey, thanks for reaching out to me. I reply to emails as best I can. I can't promise a reply, but I'll get back to you as best I can. Whatever you want to phrase it like that. And so let's go to notifications right here under notifications, send to email address, admin email. So here you can change the email where anyone who uses this form, where the email goes. Right now it's set to admin email. If you don't want it to be the email that you use when signing up and creating your WordPress website, then could just jump in here and change it. Anyways, go ahead and click on save. Okay, now click on embed. Now I don't want to select an existing page and I don't want to create a new page because I want to embed it on the home page. So I need shortcode. So let's go use a shortcode. All right, and so here's my form. Boom, highlight this, copy. All right, so now what do? I just take the form and put it over here. So let's just jump in here, click on plus, and we want to click on modules, and now we want to type in plain text. Click on plus, then right click, paste, okay? And there you go. Click on done, click on save, click on update. All right, so let's reload it and see how that looks, see how that comes out. And that looks good. So this field is a little bit wide over there. So maybe we could add in just a little bit of padding if we want. Totally up to you. But overall, I think that looks really nice. And I think this website came out really well. So anyways, that's kind of like how you finish off the website with a nice, strong looking like contact field. You can just adjust this as you want. Add in your name, email, address if you want to add in all that. Now, again, if you want to change the image, you know how to do that. Okay, so again, just navigate here, click on styling, row options, make sure it's full width, go to styling, background, and then under background, that's where the image is appearing. So if you don't like this image of the city and you want to change it to something that an image that you own, for example, you can go ahead and do that right here. And that is it. So, that's pretty much it for how I would design the homepage. So let's continue. Side note, I definitely recommend adding padding to this section just to give it a little bit of space so this form doesn't go all the way off to the right and touch
So to do that, again, quick and easy, all you have to do is navigate back to the section where you're where you add the short code, go to styling, go to padding, expand it, find where it says right. I'd recommend about 4% or so, and then it should look like this, and it looks really nice. Let's edit the footer of our website. So this bottom section is called the footer on a website, and it's the place where you put in like your privacy policy, terms of use, maybe a sub menu, legalese pages, copyright, etc. So we take a quick look at like Website Creator Pro. Here I have a sub menu of the about page, contact, resources, and hire, just because like these links, they don't really fit in with the main menu up top there. And also I have like the disclaimer, the copyright, privacy policy, terms and conditions. And so we're going to add all of this stuff to our footer as well. Now I have a page called blog/legal pages, which is a nice little overview about how to properly craft these pages. What should you include in a privacy policy? What should you include in a terms of use page and disclosure page? In general, a terms of use page should just describe to people what they're agreeing to abide by visiting your website. Disclosure page, you should include one if you're going to be engaging in affiliate marketing. So you've seen this before, like when you're on a blog post and you're like, some of these links may contain affiliate links. And so, that's kind of like why you would want to craft that. And then the privacy policy tells people how your website gathers personal information. But with WordPress, you already get a privacy policy as like a default page, as a draft page. And so you can just go ahead and publish this page. So anyways, let's start adding stuff to our footer. So I want to have a terms of use page as well. So let me go here and click on add new. Now again, you can just craft your own terms of use page on your own, but we're just going to set one up as a template just to get going. So terms of use, there we go. And I'm going to change the slug of this to terms. And I'll just click on publish, and on your own time you can craft your own terms of use page, but just for tutorial purposes, we're just going to create the page, then add it to the footer. All right, so let me click back to the W. Okay, so now we have our terms of use. Let's go into the privacy policy. Okay, and then we can come over here. I'll just change this to privacy, and we'll just click on publish and click on publish. So it's totally up to you if you want to call it privacy policy. It doesn't matter as long as you have this page. It should be called privacy or it should be called privacy policy. Both are fine. Okay, so now let's navigate back to our WordPress dashboard. Now to edit the footer, you just go to Themify Simple. Okay, so with Themify Simple, now we want to navigate to where it says Theme Settings. And then you want to navigate to where it says Footer Text. So there we go. So now it's time to put in our copyright. And so what I would personally do is just highlight this the way it is, then right click, and then copy. And then we'll put that there. Boom. Copyright. Copyright of the website, and then maybe separator, and then maybe the tagline. Okay, so it's like, find your edge. I don't know, enjoy life. Okay. All right, so now I'll have a page separator, and then I want to put in the privacy policy here and terms of use. Okay, privacy policy, and then terms of use. All right, but how do I do that? Because these have to be links to those specific pages, right? Well, the easiest way to do something like that, I suggest, is just opening up a new post, and just go to add new. And all you need to do is just come down here, okay, and just type in privacy policy, and then terms of use. And then all you have to do is create these as a link. So highlight it, and then bold it, and then put the website in. And so it should be HTTPS. Okay, and then / privacy. Okay, then boom, there we go. And then just do that one more time. So bold, then add a link, and then type in your website. There we go, and terms. Okay, so I'll click that. Awesome. Okay, so now how do I get this to be HTML to add it? So we have to come up top there, and then you have to edit as HTML. And then you take this, once it's HTML, right click, copy, take it here, and then delete that, okay? And then put that right in here, okay? And so that looks like a mess, but when it's displayed on the site, it'll look good. So anyways, let's go ahead and click on save. And let's just reload the site and see how that looks. Okay, So there we go. So we have the copy right there. All right, so maybe I don't need this page separator because that's like kind of looking a little bit weird. So we'll back out of that. See how this looks again. And this is what I mean with design. You just got to play around with things and see how it looks. Okay, so that looks good. That looks good. I want to get rid of that. And so, if I'm going to engage in like affiliate marketing, I'm going to like probably want to have like this, this like disclaimer right there. So maybe we'll just put that there. So I can say like, I am a participant. All right, so we'll put that there. Let me reload. Okay, and so that looks really nice. So now we have a nice little basic disclosure. Now, you can also add a sub menu here if you like. In order to do that, you just have to go back to your menus. So again, appearance, and then you go to menus. All right, so once you're under menus, you have to go to create a new menu, okay? And so we can go to manage locations. Okay, and so now we have main navigation and footer navigation. So we have one menu for the main navigation, and we can only add the main menu for the footer navigation. But we want to make a new menu, so click on the button that says use a new menu. Okay, now we're creating a new menu. We'll just say this is for the footer, and we'll say footer menu. Okay, and then we'll click on create menu. And then we could just add in what we want. So say if I want to have maybe my like resources and about, I can go ahead and click that to add to the menu. Okay, there we go. Click on save menu. And so then if we reload the page, you'll notice that you now have menu items right up top there. And so what should you add here? I suggest doing something similar to like what I've done with like Website Creator Pro, where this is a good spot to have like a sub menu. Because like I liked keeping my menus as short as possible with any website that I design, any of my niche websites. I don't like having like 10 items. I want people to click these links and get on these pages. And the more options you give people, the less they click. And so I use this as a kind of like, again, a sub menu for important pages, but not pages that are too important where I would want them to put in the main menu. And so you can have the same type of approach with how you structure this. But anyways, that's how I recommend setting up the footer. This looks nice and professional. It's nice and clean. And so that is it for the footer. Now let's edit the blog post page. So if you decide to add a blog with the Themify simple theme, it looks fantastic. But there are a couple of little things that you need to know about how to change and edit things. So right up top there, by default, you have a lot of your meta description going on right here, the page title, and then the content going on here. Now, if we come over here, this is what the blog post looks like when open. Now, you have a bunch of different settings. And so let me just go ahead and open the Hello World blog post, and let me go to Themify Simple as well. Now, within the Themify Simple, you have your default layouts. And so right here, you have archive post layout, single post layout. So what does that mean? So the archive post layout specifically affects how the blog post looks, how the blog post page looks. And so, for example, let me just open up websitecreatorpro.com. So if we come to the blog section, so it's /blog, and then you see it looks really nice with all these different images. How do you do that? With Themify, it's really simple. So you want to go into default layouts, archive post layout. So yeah, this is the blog post page, but this is the archive post, if that makes sense. And so all I've done is boom, you just select the grid. That's it. And you click on save. And so that will change the layout of the blog post, okay? And it'll make everything in a grid format. Okay, so now it's already in a grid. So if I had more pieces of content, it would show up there. Now you're like, well, I don't want to have my name and I don't want it to have the category. How do I hide that stuff? Again, you can do that here. So you go to minimize that, and you want to go to like archive post and single post layout. And what you have to do is you have to hide the post meta. And so that's what this is. That's what this is called. This is the post meta description. And so personally, I would just hide everything. I'll just click on hide, and there you go. And so we click on save. And now you need to go to archive post, and you can also hide the post meta on the archive post as well. So we'll click on hide there too. So that means like, you don't see like my name, you don't see the category here. That's because the meta description is hidden. And then if I click the actual blog post itself, again, you see breadcrumbs, but you don't see the meta description. You see the author at the very bottom, okay? And that's powered by, again, early in the tutorial where I told you how to set up users to add a icon. That's how this is being powered. But, in general, I don't like to have like a lot of meta description up top to complicate the site. So anyways, that's kind of like how you set it up. So let me go ahead and reload this. Okay, and so now we just have one blog post and it looks good. And so right under here with the archive, we can come over here. And so, display content, full content, what that means is going to show the entire blog post. And so we don't want that. We can either have an excerpt or none. I personally go with none. And so when you look at like the blog post page here, there's no excerpt. So excerpt means like a couple little sentences that are about this blog post. No, I don't want that. I just want the page post title. And people want to read this, they'll click on this. Like, what is web hosting? Boom. I don't need a little paragraph underneath that. That's super tiny text that people aren't going to read. People are just going to look at your title and click. So it's really not that valuable to have like, a lot of like text underneath. You just want the page title. Okay. And that's pretty much it. And so let me just reload this. Okay, so there we go. So now we have the title there and we have the content there and we have comments right there. Now let's just one other little thing. Let me navigate back to this. Okay, so single post. So say if you want to have a sidebar, right now it's set to no sidebar, but if I really wanted a sidebar, for example, I can just click on that and have a sidebar. Let me click on save and let me reload the page. Okay, so now I have my blog post over there and I have a nice functional sidebar over there. Now the sidebar over here, again, remember guys, it's controlled by the widget section. So we'll open up the widgets. And over here is the sidebar. So if you want to add or remove things from this section, you just have to go into your widgets over here. And that's pretty much it. And so one last thing is you can add a feature image to a blog post. So if we go edit post and under here where we have feature image, we can select a feature image. And I'll go ahead and we'll select this standard image right there. We'll click set feature image. And let me click on update. All right, so let's take a look at the blog post. All right, so a blog post by default with the Themify simple theme has the image as this massive image at the top that takes over the whole post. I personally don't like this, the way this looks. I think it looks bad. And it forces you to use these gigantic images on your blog. Now, let me back out of this. Now, personally, I like the way the feature image looks when people are on, the actual blog post page. Feature images, this is really helpful, because it really grabs people's attention. It stands out a little bit. But when people open up the post, we don't need this massive image. And so you can just turn it off. And so again, you just jump in here, okay, to turn off. So we go to single post and we want to find feature image. So hide feature image. Yep, I want to hide the feature image. Yes. And we'll click on save. And so let me just reload this blog post. And there we go. So we have it activated here. When people open up the piece of content, they get right into the content. And that's kind of like what I personally do. I like having this. I like having like feature images on the thumbnails. But when people like actually click on the blog, I don't like having a big massive image taking up all that real estate on the website. And so one last thing too is to just pay attention to your categories if you are going to blog. So categories are controlled by post and go to categories. And so let me just go here. Let me click on edit post. So right now you should have one category. Every blog post needs to be organized by a category. Pick categories that make sense for whatever it is you write about. So if you're creating if you're a filmmaker or a photographer, if you want to blog about stuff, it should be, camera gear or whatever. Like make relevant categories. And so like when you write a piece of content, you can come over here to categories and then add new category, and you can add in a new category right there quickly and easily. And that's what I recommend doing. I recommend like having 4 to 7 categories max to organize your content. And that is it, and let people get in. And then the last from this page, so post categories, if we click on the category page, what you're able to do with the Themify simple theme is you can give this page a specific description. Now, obviously this category is uncategorized, so it's like there's nothing, this is something to delete, obviously. But for example, like content marketing. For example, I have a category called content marketing. You click on content marketing and then you have a little description right there and then all the blog posts associated with content marketing. How is that done? It's done because I have a category and then I wrote a description. And so the Ultra theme and the Themify simple theme, they work the same way in the sense that you can add in a little description to make it more helpful and useful for visitors. So that's what I definitely recommend doing. And that's it. And so that's how you can kind of structure your blog post. Again, I have another video on this channel about how to properly write a blog post if you want to check it out. But overall, that's a good overview for how to set up the blog post section on your personal website. And last is SEO for your personal website. So what do I recommend? I recommend you install two plugins. One is called Yoast SEO. The other one is called Smush It. So anyways, let's go ahead and add in Smush It first. So what Smush It does is it's an image optimization plugin. So we go to Smush It, then click enter. Okay, so now we have Smush Lazy Load Images. Click install and then click activate once it's ready. And so what this plugin does is it will optimize all the images that you have uploaded. Okay, and so we come down to Smush, and from here on out, you can go ahead and skip this. I'll set it up later. There we go. All right, there we go. So now it's checking my images. And see, it has a nice little onboarding process for you, and it will tell you what images need smushing. This is just optimizing your images so they're a smaller file size so your website loads more quickly. And then also what it does from this point out, any image that you upload will automatically be optimized to help your site load as quickly as possible. Now, the next plugin I recommend is to go to Yoast SEO. So it's called Yoast SEO. So we click on Add New. All right, and now we type in Yoast SEO, hit enter. And right here, Yoast SEO, click install now. And there we go, click on activate. Now what Yoast SEO does is allows you to have a little bit more specific control over the on-page SEO of your website. So for example, if we type in website creative pro, what pops up is going to be our title right here. Okay, and so let me just type in this actually, website creative pro, type in the home page. Okay, there we go. So we have the title of the website and then the description of the website right there. And then we have a little meta description right underneath. And so how is that being powered? That's being powered by Yoast SEO. Now again, you don't have like specific control over like what images appear underneath this, but you do have like the ability to change the meta description as needed. So anyways, let's go to the home page. And so on our home page, if we navigate to the top right here, what does it say? It says home page and then the site title. I want to change that. So we go to edit page, and I want to give the site title something a little bit more clear and specific that kind of like describes what the website is about. And so we come down here to the SEO title area. And this is being powered by Yoast, so we just back out of this. And so for the homepage, I definitely recommend leading off with the site title. So it's like, for example, the personal website of David, okay? And there we go. Just leave it at that, okay? And then we don't need a homepage slug because this is already set as the homepage, and then we have a meta description right there. And then you just type in your meta description, okay? So like describe the site, okay? Describe the website, okay? And that's it. And so that's all you have to do. So in general, and then you just have to click update to save the site. So in general, the way you should approach this is that the homepage, you want to lead off with the site title first, okay? So if you just like the site title, or you could do it like this, like site title, page separator, and then a keyword description. That works. And so like if we take a look at like Website Create Pro, we have the site title comes first and then a description of the site. And then if we take a look at like all the blog posts underneath, it's the opposite, okay? So you want to lead off with like the page title first, and then if there's still room to fit in the name of the website, then you go ahead and do that. And so for example, if I was to come over here to posts and say I was actually going to keep this post called Hello World, what I would want it to say is like Hello World. Let's just let it open up real quick. There we go. Okay. So what I would want it to say is like Hello World, page separator, and then the site title. That's fine. Okay. So obviously Hello World's not a good page title, too short, etc., etc. But you know, that's what you'd want for your blog post. So You want to have a keyword rich title if there's still room, because like, for example, see how it's orange? And so when I keep typing, it gets to a spot where it's green. That means that's the right size. If I keep going, it becomes red. That means your page title is too long. So you want to, in general, you want to get to where it says green. Again, this is just a kind of a rule, a guide. You don't have to be super strict about it, okay? It's not going to be the end of the world if it's orange or if it's red, etc. And then here you can change the slug of the URL of the blog post you're on, as well as the meta description. And that is it for what you should do for basic SEO for your website. And the last, you want to install a caching plugin. So let's go to plugins, and then you want to add a new plugin. So the plugin that I recommend personally is W3 Total Cache. So we can type in W3, hit enter, and it should come up as W3 Total Cache right here. And so what this does is just helps optimize your website by creating a cache of your website. So when people visit and revisit your site, they're loaded up a cache. So just your website just loads faster and provides a better user experience. So installing W3 Total Cache is very easy. All you have to do is click install and then click activate. And then the default settings for Total Cache are acceptable on a shared hosting account. So there's actually nothing that you really specifically need to do. But if you want to check it out over here, it's the underneath performance in your WordPress menu. And so here you can kind of jump in and play around and test things out if you want, but I definitely don't recommend changing any settings because you're on a shared hosting account, and W3 Total Cache is kind of designed to work well right out of the proverbial box with like a basic WordPress installation. And so this will help your website load more quickly. So this combined with WP Smush It will really help make your website a bit faster for the end user. And last, I just want to cover some basic customizations for the Themify simple theme, how it works. And so we have a couple different options. So if you go to customize in the menu bar right here, if you click on customize, what will happen is this will open up. And from this section right here, this is like kind of like where you can change the colors of specific things. So if you notice like the text is kind of like a little bit of a grayish black and you're like, well, I don't really like that. I kind of want that to be darker. All you have to do is go to body font. So we have body font, body links. And so if we go to body link, for example, this is where it'll change the links of the links found within the body. So for example, if I want to change this to something else like red, I can just do that there. If I want the body font to be a different color, I can just do that here, and I can maybe make it a little bit more black so it kind of stands out a little bit more. Okay, and so you can kind of just go through this and change things as you want. Like if you want this title, for example, to be a little bit bigger, or this to be a little bit bigger, like this in H2 title tag. So we go to, like, for example, we can go page title, and we have page title and subheading, so blog post, and then we have different type post titles there. And so you can just jump in here and change things as you need. In general, what I would recommend is probably change the text and make it a little bit darker so it stands out a little bit more. Now on Themify also provides you with skins. And so what skins do is that it broadly changes the color of the site. And so this is helpful because on specific pages, remember how we had the homepage open? It used to be like that green color. It was that green color because by default, that's the color of Themify simple. But we can change that color to like be black or blue or white. And so for example, if I open up a new page, and we'll just open up the About page, okay? Let me just go take a quick look at that. All right, so let me just open up the About page right here. Okay, so see how this is green? If you want to change this to something else, you can just come in here. So if I want that to be blue, click on save. Then this default color, instead of being green, it'll change it to something else, okay? So you gotta be careful though, because it does change everything else. And so you gotta be careful with like playing around with this customization settings in here and doing this over here. In general, I would personally just keep things as no skin, and then kind of manually change the colors as I see fit for each individual item, but it's totally up to you. Okay, and then last, okay, so as you notice, this has a sticky menu. And so the sticky menu is really great if someone's on a, say like a desktop or their laptop or, you know, a tablet, whatever. But if someone's on a phone, you don't want a sticky menu because it takes up too much space. So how do you turn this off? Well, unfortunately, there's no button to like just say, hey, turn the sticky menu off. You're kind of stuck with it. But you can add in some custom CSS. So you come over here to custom CSS. Let me scroll down. All right, so this is this custom CSS that you need. It's hashtag header.wrap fix header position absolute. Okay, so position : absolute. And so you need to put this in. Okay, and so you literally just put this in and then you paste it into custom CSS. And so what that does is it removes the sticky header. Okay, so the header will just stay put where it is. And so it's up to you whether or not you want that. I personally would throw that in there and just turn off the sticky header, because I personally don't like sticky headers. I find them just annoying in general. I like the header to stay put where it is, but it's up to you. So once again, it's header wrap.fix header position absolute, and that's it. So anyways, guys, that is it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for watching.
Alright everybody, that is it for this tutorial video on how to create an impressive looking About Me style website using the Themify simple theme and Bluehost. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, hit that like button, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.